Hey, Corey here. Kind of doing back-to-back videos, which is unusual. I think I've shared in the past that I don't know if I even like doing these, but there's certain things that I talk to myself about, and I think, if it's something I'm thinking about and I'm talking to myself about, why not put it on a video? It isn't really that hard to do. So just sitting here in my truck in my driveway on what is a Saturday morning, and just a couple weeks through the holidays. Hope you're doing well. And this one has to do with discipline, but I want to share kind of a funny story about it, which relates to discipline, and it has to do with a Christmas cookie. So I like the title I'm going to put on this, because the title is going to be "It's Not About the Cookie." So the story I want to share just real quickly here is every year on Christmas Day, I have one Christmas cookie. Our youngest daughter started making these Christmas cookies a few years back, and I've just made it kind of part of my Christmas tradition that I'm going to have one of these cookies that she made on Christmas Day, one cookie, not two, and I'm not going to have a cookie again, not only that cookie, but not any cookie again until the next Christmas Day, where I have one of her cookies that she makes for that Christmas. So that's kind of the story about the Christmas cookie, and I've done that for, to be honest, I don't know how many years it's been now. It's probably been at least 10 years since I've had a cookie, but other than the Christmas cookie. But as far as the Christmas cookie story, it's probably been 3 or 4 years, something like that. So not a long run, but enough of a run where there's some discipline that goes into that. And a lot of times, if someone hears that or knows that, they give me a hard time about it, or sometimes you'll get the other side of it where I don't know how you can only have one cookie, and I don't know how you can do this or that. So anyway, I wanted to share that, and I also wanted to share that that takes discipline to have one cookie one day of the year. And this is a very simple, kind of funny example of it, but I think the mindset, I think the discipline, I think how that works applies to many, many things in life. Everything from a cookie all the way up to the very hardest challenges that we may have in life, and everything in between, or goals or things that we're not happy with that we want to change. So back to the cookie thing, realistically, I could have 2 cookies on Christmas Day. I could probably have 3 cookies on Christmas Day. I could probably have a cookie a month, all year. To be honest, with the program I have for my physical self, that part of me, the things that I do daily around diet and nutrition and working out and all these kind of things, I could probably have a cookie every damn day of the year, and it really wouldn't matter. So that's where it's not about the cookie. It's about making a choice to do something, and then putting in the discipline it takes to do that, whatever it may be. So whether it's one cookie a year, whether it's some other goal that we have, I think discipline is the biggest part of it, or one of the biggest parts of anything that we work for in life. So if I'm not happy about something in my life, the first thing I have to do is I have to know that, right? I have to know I'm not satisfied with this thing in my life. And then I have to understand if there's anything I want to do about it. So do I want to do something about this? And if I do want to do something about it, well, then I have to get to work. I have to put the work in. I have to understand what are the things I need to do. So here's this thing I'm not happy with. I want to change. I need to understand. I'm willing to work for it. I'm willing to do it. But what do I want as an outcome? What's the goal? Here's where I'm at. Where do I want to be? And then what do I need to do to get there? And depending on whatever this thing is in your life or my life, whatever this thing is we want to change, there's always steps that we'll take to get there. And sometimes we can talk to somebody about it. We can look things up. We can listen to something, read something. There's so much information out there on virtually anything. I have to put the work in to understand, well, what do I need to do? I have to put the physical work in. Maybe it's the mental work of researching something, whatever it may be, but I need to put this program together. I need to start to put together a program of what am I going to do to get from where I'm at to where I want to be and get to work on it. And certainly in anything, you know, this could be for something physically, this could be for something work related or a project. It could, like a lot of things, it could be for anything in life. As I get into it and as I put the work in, I'm probably going to change a lot of things in whatever program I've put together. But for me, for any long-term success that I've had in any area of my life, long-term success, I won't claim to have a lot of it, you know, if I'm honest, but there's a few things in my life I've had long-term success. I'm thankful to God for that. What it took was discipline, because for any long-term success that I've had, and also people that I've come in contact with, people that I know that have done some significant things in their life and also have long-term success, the one thing that runs through it all is discipline. You know, it's being able to do whatever these things are I need to do to get where I want to be, to do those things every day, you know, or whatever the frequency is for the program, to be able to do them every day. And you've probably heard thousands of things about motivation versus discipline, motivation versus discipline. And motivation has its place. A lot of times that's the start of it. You know, I'm motivated. I don't like this thing in my life. I don't like whatever this is about me. I don't like what's happening here in my business, whatever it may be. There's a motivation there. There's something that gets me to want to change. That's the motivation. But it's the discipline that is the key to the long-term success, and it's the discipline that gets us to where we want to be. Because there's a lot of days I don't want to do the things that I've put in my program of life that are important. So there's certain things I do on a daily basis that are what I call a program of life, my program of life. And to be honest, it's probably 50-50 on the days I really feel like doing any of it. That's the discipline. That's the, okay, I don't even have to think about this. I'm going to do these things every day. For me personally, every day that I wake up in the morning, I don't care where I'm at, a work day or not, a weekend. I don't care if I'm traveling. I don't care if I'm traveling for work, if I'm traveling for not work. I don't care where I'm at. You know, there's a good 8 or 9 year run here going on certain things that in my past I didn't like about myself. And I made it a decision to make changes to become somebody better than I was back then. And there's certain things that I do every morning that help me. At the beginning, it was to help me to get there. And now it's kind of a maintenance program. It helps me stay here. And there's still continuous improvement that comes from it. But that's a reading. There's a book I read every morning. It's not a story or really a book. It's like a daily, it's a 24-hour type book where whatever the date is, you read it. Anyway, I read that every morning. And then I reflect just briefly about that. And sometimes what I read makes sense, and sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know what the fuck that meant. But there again, the discipline. It doesn't matter. I'm going to read it every morning. I'm going to reflect on it a little bit. If I didn't really get it, I might not reflect very long. But I'm going to read it. I'm going to reflect on it. I'm going to do a daily prayer in the morning. I'm going to do some push-ups. I'm going to do some stretching, which really are a necessity for me to even be able to like get going in the morning. So that's just a really good thing to do. And then those are all, so if you break down what I just said, those are all very simple things to do. I don't have to think about them. I didn't really have to learn how to do them. And they literally take just a few minutes, you know. But I'm just using that as an example of how simple it can be. But it is a real life example for me that I literally do that every single morning within the first 30, 45 minutes of waking up. It's become a daily discipline. Because I've done that and made a discipline of it, it doesn't matter on the days that I don't feel good. It doesn't matter if I had a foot surgery. It doesn't matter if I feel like shit. It doesn't matter if I'm lazy. That's the discipline, and I'm just going to do it, and I do it. Long-term success comes from that. There's other things I've done in a program of recovery. There's long-term success that comes with that. There's things, other examples I've had, and there's certainly thousands and probably millions of examples that other people in their lives have had where they could tell you the same thing, that the discipline is key. There's some figures, if I named their names, you'd know them in social media, that will have a slogan that discipline equals freedom. And it does, it's that kind of a discipline. So I just wanted to share that. Back to the cookie thing. It's not about the cookie. It's about the discipline. Take care.